What's up and welcome back to my channel, the best place to learn about motorcycle and mindset tips to get you comfortable and confident so you can live your best life. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to stop caring what other people think. We've all been there, when you care so much about other people's opinion of what you said or what you did or what you didn't do. And this is especially a big issue for women, unfortunately. We are constantly trying to keep others happy so they accept us and approve our actions. For example, have you ever had a conversation with a friend or a parent or a significant other and then gone home and played that scene on repeat in your head, thinking about what you could have said instead? And you play those scenes over and over. You think about all the better ways that you could have reacted in order for them to approve of you. You agonize over their reaction to your every move for hours and days even. It's completely exhausting. It sucks. And honestly, you have way better things to do with your time than wonder what other people are thinking about you. So here are my ways that I stopped caring what other people thought of me. Number one, I realized it wasn't my responsibility to manage other people's emotions. Grown-up people are in charge of their own grown-up emotions and opinions. It is not up to us to make sure that they aren't hurt or upset by how we act. In fact, how anyone behaves is only ever a reflection of their own life experience. So other people will only respond to you in the best way that they know how, which is through their lens. For this reason, I always take other people's reactions with a grain of salt because they are projecting their hopes, fears, and dreams onto us. A lot of the time, that is unintentional and it truly does come from a place of love. This is something that came up for me when I told my family that I wanted to ride motorcycles. And the immediate response I got was, "What do you mean? You don't ride motorcycles?" And at first I was really hurt by this, and for a long time it deterred me from riding because, well, my family knows me better than anyone, so I guess I don't ride motorcycles. And I didn't want to upset them by going against something that they might not like. However, just because I had a history of not riding motorcycles didn't mean that I couldn't change that. And anyway, I know myself better than anyone, and I knew that I wanted to ride motorcycles, so I did. Sorry, not sorry. Another thing to mention here is that whoever the people are whose opinions you care so deeply about, if they truly love you unconditionally, they will support you no matter what, regardless of what you do. So it doesn't appease them and they still worry for you, then they will eventually figure out how to deal with that while you're out living your best life. It's not your problem how they feel or think about what you do. Finally, on this note, no one in my family actually said, "Mal, do not ride motorcycles." Yet I had interpreted their reaction as an admonishment of my desires and behaviors, and it wasn't. It was really just a reaction to something that I'd said. So the second thing is, I realized what it was costing me. So this next thing I realized was that caring about other people's opinion was really costing me a lot. It was a huge drain mentally and emotionally, energetically, as well as super time consuming. It cost me my authenticity every single day of my life because I wouldn't say what I wanted to say in conversations, or I would wear this thing instead of that thing, or I would go to events that I didn't enjoy just because I wanted to keep things comfortable and I didn't want to rock the boat. So when I sat down and I realized that the time that I put into caring what other people thought about me, and then I counted all those hours and I thought about all the energy that I was spending, it was truly astonishing. And a thought occurred to me that what could I do with all of that time and energy? And really, I could start creating an amazing future for myself where my needs were met every day and I got closer to my goals. Everyone else's opinion didn't matter so much after I thought about that. And this is a fun activity that I encourage everyone to do. Think about what it is costing you by caring what other people think. Then write down a list of all of the amazing things that you could achieve with all of that time and energy instead. And then go and do those things. So the third one was I realized that most men don't do this. Now, this next one is a doozy. And one day, quite innocently, it occurred to me that most men do not second guess themselves at the rate that women do. And they do not care what others think anywhere near as much as what women do. This thought alone pretty much stopped me in my tracks, caring what other people thought of me. Dudes just don't care about these details. A simple test for this is to consider if your boyfriend, husband, friend, brother, dad would be thinking about the same thoughts that you are. Are they saying things to themselves like, what would my friends think of me if I started riding motorcycles? And does that guy in your life who you're imagining, do they spend time mulling that over? Do they spend hours thinking about what to say and to whom? We all know the answer is probably no. So let's even the playing field and stop caring too. Fourth thing, I realize everyone is pretty much thinking about themselves. The next thing is, this was super a groundbreaking aha moment for me. Realizing that other people are mostly just thinking about themselves 24/7, just like how we are always thinking about ourselves by wondering what other people think of us. And the other thought is, we are all the main characters of our own epic, incredible story, and that story is our life. And it's really important to realize this. It's nothing to be ashamed of to be the main character, the hero, the heroine of your own story. When I finally worked up the courage to tell my family that I started riding motorcycles, their reaction wasn't exactly what I had expected. It was mostly along the lines of, oh, cool, good for you. And then you know what happened? They continued living their lives just as they always had. So I did the same thing. I continued living my life by riding motorcycles. No big deal. Fifth thing, embrace imperfection. There will always be people in your life that don't approve of what you're doing, or they don't like what you're doing, and they may actively discourage you from achieving your dreams. Hopefully, you don't have many people like that in your life, but if you do, you might need to reconsider if they have your best interests at heart. And it is best to understand that you cannot please everyone, nor is it your responsibility. And nothing will ever be perfect, but that's kind of amazing, because being perfect is kind of boring. The best course of action is to do what you want to do it anyway, despite the haters. Live your best life and hope that your good vibes rub off on them. And if it doesn't, then that's also not your problem. We just need to keep moving on and keep being ourselves. And I want to give you an example of this from my experience riding motorcycles. Now, my mum still worries about me when I ride motorcycles, which is nothing that I can control. So what do I do instead? I keep riding motorcycles and I keep living the best way that I know how. And then I shower her in love and good vibes. And that's the end of the story. I just do it anyway. The sixth thing, I started to rely on my internal compass instead of seeking external approval. So let's be real. Caring what other people think goes way deeper than just being accepted by the crowd. The fact that we even want that acceptance suggests that we don't accept ourselves. So we look outside of ourselves to other people, to their opinions in order to validate us. This is no way to live, and it will only ever cause us pain and confusion because we will be in constant conflict between what we want and what others want for us. Now, relying on my internal compass came way later in my journey of not caring what other people thought. I got to this point by unraveling the surface layers that were basically low-hanging fruit, and that really helped to solve those problems, problems like embracing imperfection. But deep down, marching confidently to the beat of my own drum was way harder. And it starts with caring about what you really want and placing your focus there. Ask yourself, what do you really want in life? What will make you happy? What will give you fulfillment? What creates joy for you? Focus on those outcomes and then do things that align with those outcomes every day, the outcomes that you want for yourself. And you will go further, faster to not caring what other people think. And I want to give you an example here again from my riding career. My main ride is a 1992 BMW K75 touring motorcycle with full fairing, luggage, and a really big windshield. Okay, so it was born in the early 90s and it's just super boxy looking. It has a lot of sharp angles, plus it's red. And I know that style doesn't appeal to many people. It's very niche, to say the least. And BMW motorcycles are definitely not the type of bikes that my friends ride. They ride Harley Davidsons and cute cafe races. But I knew when I bought this bike that I was so in love. The early 90s stylings really spoke to me and I just love the way that it rides. Buying a BMW was a decision to stand out from the crowd and possibly be judged for doing something way different from normal. I didn't second guess this for a second though, not a single moment, because living my life authentically in a way that feels good to me is far more important than anything anyone could ever say to me about my motorcycle. And the funny thing here about having confidence in your decisions and actions and beliefs is that confidence is contagious and people start to take notice. I meet random people all the time who approach me saying how much they love my motorcycle. And I didn't ever expect that, and it still feels kind of weird to me. But it really highlights that good things come from following your own internal compass. Besides, obviously, the most important thing, which is that increased self-worth and self-esteem. Unexpected magic happens when we live authentically as the best version of who we are. Not caring what other people think is a muscle. And just like how we go to the gym to develop strength, we need to practice working out our not caring muscle. So take baby steps, work your way up, and I promise that one day you will look back and you won't even recognize who you once were. Now, at this point in the video, I've shared my top ways to not care what other people think that I've personally used throughout my life and my riding career. And I hope that you'll implement at least one of these in your life so that you can ride confidently and achieve all of your wildest dreams. Now, I want you to comment below and let me know which reason resonates with the most for you. And not caring what other people think is only one strategy for riding motorcycles. So if you haven't already, I want you to sign up for my free guide on how to go from non-rider to badass biker babe, and the link is going to be in the description box below. Now, I post a lot of content about motorcycles and mindset to help women live their best lives. So while you wait for my next video, make sure you watch these other 2 videos, and I promise they will not disappoint. As always, I love you and I appreciate you. Have a great day, a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.